YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you guys with yet another J Talks Crypto. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. I do my best each and every day to give you guys the top picks in cryptocurrency. And guys, I'm on a mission to hit 100,000 wow, and I can't do it without ya. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification, help a brother out. We're gonna talk about some Toshi coin. We're gonna talk about some Bitcoin. We're gonna talk about where we're at in the cycle, in my opinion. But again, guys, just understand that these are my opinions, and I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You should never be making financial decisions based off of things that you hear off of YouTube. Just hold these things with a grain of salt because, again, it's just entertainment, guys. So we're gonna talk about some Bitcoin. We are going to talk about some Toshi, right? But let's talk about it, right? So you guys can see total market cap coming in at a 3 trillion. We're up like 3% today. Fear greed index coming in at a 53. We're going to talk about this fear greed index, right? We're going to talk about this altcoin season. I really want you guys to understand how a Bitcoin cycle works, because I do think that a lot of people that watch my channel are all at different levels of cryptocurrency, and sometimes I just totally nerd out on here and I kind of blow past the things that are important for the new investor to understand, as far as like what a market cycle is, how our cycle works, what Bitcoin dominance is, and just kind of how this stuff works. So I'm going to explain it to the best of my Crypto J abilities. But as you guys can see, our total market cap today coming in at a 3 trillion. We're up 3% today. And am I surprised that we're reclaiming that 3 trillion? Not really. But at the same time, are we out of the woods? It's probable, but there's still a possibility that we break down, right? We talk about possibilities and probabilities on the channel. So as you guys can see, our fear greed index coming in at a 53 at the time of the video. And you guys could see our fear greed index really kind of tells us when things are overbought and oversold, right? So you could see when we're way up here in this greed state, it's actually a very overbought zone. This is actually the danger zone up here, not down here. This is not the danger zone. This is what you call an accumulation zone down here, right? When we're in this red zone, or when we're in this orange zone, it's a possible zone of accumulation. When you're in this high green zone up here, this is actually the danger zone. I know this is where the most euphoria is. This is where everybody gets so excited at. But this is the danger zone, guys. You guys should be looking to lock profits if you haven't done it at this time of the cycle. You guys shouldn't be looking for new positions. You shouldn't be investing a ton of money up here. You shouldn't be investing a ton of money anywhere, right? You should only be investing what you're comfortable losing. But again, the time to buy, a lot of people were getting into the market between like November and like December. And guys, this was a very greedy state of the market, right? There's an old saying in the market: when they're fearful, we're greedy. When we're greedy, they're fearful, right? That's why I was saying down here, you know, when everybody was freaking out, and I was telling you guys, everybody's going to be freaking out and crying and stuff, and I'm going to be looking for positions. I wasn't playing around, right? I was telling you guys up here, like, hey guys, we're in the extreme greed state. Be careful. Correction on the way. I was saying that all of November into December, guys. We were talking about our fear greed index. We talk about it at the beginning of every video for a reason, guys. But I'm going to show you guys some more indicators and stuff like that. And I want you guys to really also understand, again, how the cycle moves and Bitcoin dominance. Why do we have this Bitcoin dominance right at the top of the screen, right? What does this mean? Well, if you click on it, you could kind of see how the Bitcoin dominance runs. And it kind of tells the story of how our cycle goes, right? So you guys could see Bitcoin dominance is up right now. Bitcoin dominance is at 1.71, right? Ethereum down 0.17. And the rest of the altcoins are actually down 1.5%. Well, why is that, Crypto J? Why is Bitcoin going up and the other stuff going down? Because, guys, Bitcoin has dominance over this marketplace. Bitcoin is the confidence that is behind cryptocurrency. So if you're bullish on cryptocurrency and you're actually not holding any Bitcoin, I don't think that this is very smart at all. I actually think that this is kind of silly that you're in this space and you don't own any Bitcoin, and that the people that are highly into altcoins, I don't know who you guys are watching, guys, Please stop watching these people that are telling you to go all in on altcoins. You got to look at altcoins if you're in the stock market like a penny stock. It's very speculative, highly speculative, very small market cap, highly speculative. Then you got, Bitcoin, which is, going to be tried and true. And then you got your blue chips, which again is going to be things like Ethereum, XRP, those top DeFi projects, things that are staples in cryptocurrency that have been around for a long time that have utility, right? Those are usually considered blue chips, things like Chainlink, things like that. Those are blue chip projects, right? We'll make a whole video on blue chip projects. Everything else, guys, is very speculative. As a matter of fact, when just in 2020, just so you guys understand just kind of how this space has changed and how many of these projects will not be successful. Just in 2020, guys, there was about 5,000 cryptocurrencies. Today, there's close to 2 million cryptocurrencies. With the Solana blockchain blowing up and pump fund and all that, I actually don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a very bad thing because, one, we have a lot of people that do not know how to check contracts. Extremely dangerous, guys. Please, 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 before you learn how to read the chart, if you're going to be in cryptocurrency and trading meme coins, please learn how to read the contract. Please, guys, I promise you, it is more important, I promise you. But I want to talk about this Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance, again, 64. And you could see this blue or this orange line right here. This is Bitcoin. You can see how when Bitcoin dominance is high, the other coins are low, right? When Bitcoin drops in dominance, look what happens to the altcoins, right? They pump. Look at this. Bitcoin dominance going high. Altcoins low. Bitcoin dominance low. Altcoins run, right? So right now, what's happening in our cycle, Bitcoin dominance high, creating rising wedge, bearish pattern. This is a bearish pattern on Bitcoin dominance. It's an indicator that we might need to see a correction in the Bitcoin dominance. And that's why you keep hearing people saying the altcoin season is coming. Because when Bitcoin dominance drops, you could see right now, Bitcoin dominance is high, altcoins low. But when Bitcoin drops, which it will, these things correct, everything corrects, these altcoins will likely run. And that is why people keep saying altcoin season on the way. This is why I've been saying zone of accumulation. This is why I keep saying it will take time. It will not be right away. It's not as soon as Bitcoin runs, everything will run. No, Bitcoin has dominance, guys. And that is because Bitcoin is the confidence in our market. Bitcoin is what everybody wants. And again, if you're not accumulating Bitcoin, I don't know what you're doing in this space. I don't know why you're here because again, we are trying, and I'm trying at least, I don't know about you, but I'm trying to stack as much Bitcoin as I can. I don't know about you. Okay. I like all the coins. I like all these meme coins, Toshi, Shiba Inu. I like them. They're great. They're awesome, guys. But at the same time, being all in on those coins is very not a good idea, guys. It's very highly speculative. So just understand that it's good to make gains in altcoins, but most people in cryptocurrency, they move those gains. So this is the way that I kind of got started in cryptocurrency. And again, you don't have to do this, right? I was very heavy into blue chips, right? I was big into Ethereum because I thought I was late on Bitcoin, even though again, Bitcoin was already was only at $3,000. Imagine that. But I knew Bitcoin would go on, but I wanted to be early, and I knew that Ethereum being a number two, it would have a decent shot. Ethereum at the time was like at $250. And so I was dollar cost averaging into Ethereum. That's kind of like how I got started. And then again, I got into more blue chips, right? I was in Cardano and I got into Polkadot when it just came out. And those are the coins, guys, that I really made the bulk of my money in before I got into altcoins. So, and then I didn't put all my money into altcoins. It wasn't like, oh, I just made a big bag in these blue chip coins. Let me go put all my money into altcoins. No, I actually diversified maybe like a fourth of my portfolio, and I put it into poo-poo coins, altcoins. I was buying SHIB when nobody wanted it. I was buying all these things. I was starting to talk about them on YouTube and stuff like that because, again, I did think that meme coins would have a future. I did see an appeal behind it. This was kind of when Doge was starting to do a little bit of a thing, but there was very few influencers, guys, that were talking about meme coins. As a matter of fact, this meme coin space was clowned. They would laugh at us, guys. They would be like, oh, those guys buying Shiba Inu. Every day I was making Shiba Inu videos. Hey, guys, this could be a big thing. You know, and people were giving me a hard time about that. A lot of these big YouTubers now that talk about these coins, Pepe and Shiba Inu and these things, they would never have talked about these coins. They were only Bitcoin maxis because, again, this Bitcoin dominance means something, and they feel like Bitcoin will do big things, which I believe too. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. That's why I always talk about it. That will never change. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I think that it will outperform the entire market in the next 10, 20 years even. It's going to be outperforming everything. So if you're not holding Bitcoin again, then I don't know what you're doing in cryptocurrency, but I do think that, again, not holding Bitcoin is kind of like not very wise. But I just want to talk again about kind of where we're at in the cycle, right? Because, again, this Bitcoin dominance is starting to rise. And also I want to show you our stock to flow chart. Okay, so Bitcoin stock to flow chart, and we've talked about this many times, guys. I've shown this chart many times. You guys have been watching me every day. Nothing's changed. I always say nothing's changed, right? Because this cycle really is the same. We've been drawing so many conclusions, a lot of you guys already know, to this cycle that's happening right now in 2016, 2017, right in this area right here. Very similar to right here, guys. You know, I talked about when we were in this red zone right here, I was saying, guys, we have not reached, there's a good chance we have not reached the top. We do not reach the top in the red zone normally, right? Do you see us at the top in the red here anywhere on here? No. Usually the red is actually a sign that we possibly are in the best zone to be accumulating, right? To be picking up. And so that's why, again, I've been making videos during these fearful times when everybody's talking about selling off and telling you guys, hey guys, this is what we see in Q1. It's actually the worst time to be locking in profits would be when we're in here, right? Wouldn't you agree that the worst time to take in your profit would be in the red, right? Well, I also told you guys that usually we see some chop when we're in the red, right? It's not, you know, red just for a day and then parabolic, right? We've been kind of in the red now for a little while, and then we're just starting to turn orange. You can see we had a little bit of a rejection here, but we're consolidating. Very similar to what we did, again, in 2017. We've been drawing so many similarities to 2017, guys. I've been telling you guys, this is not what a top looks like. This, in my opinion, would be a weak cycle. This would be a horribly weak cycle. Usually we have a clear blow off top. You could see we get into this extreme greed state and it's a blow off top. We have a big correction down. We go like this for like a couple years and then blow off top, blow off top. Look, you see how we have this big, it's like a ramp, right? We just go zoom, right? But look, we're just kind of going like this right now. It's kind of, we're still in an uptrend, right? I've been telling you guys that in 2023, we were at 15,000. We went up to 105,000. We have not broken down off of our cycle. I've been saying this, guys. I've been talking about the stock to flow chart. I swear to you. And I'm telling you right now, this zone right here is, again, I believe, getting ready to go into an altcoin cycle. Like right in here, right in 2016, 2017. We are still on course. I've been saying this. You know, there's always a chance that this model does not hold true. Some people have questioned this model. This is the same model that I've been using for years, and I don't question this model. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. You guys could see it did break down a little bit below the line, but at the same time, in my opinion, this model is pretty solid. This is pretty solid in my opinion. So this is one indicator that I use that, again, is also telling us that we are about to see an altcoin cycle. So I had somebody saying like, oh, you know, why is Bitcoin moving and then, you know, like some of the market's moving and then it just seems like some of these coins are just not moving. Like Toshi's not moving. A lot of these meme coins are not moving because it's not time yet for them to start moving. They will have their time once Bitcoin dominance starts lowering, Bitcoin will go on a little bit of a correction, and then we'll see some of these altcoins start moving as Bitcoin starts establishing higher lows and Bitcoin starts looking like more of a solid recovery. Then again, because Bitcoin is the confidence in our market, it's going to make investors more confident in an altcoin cycle. Right now, things are very speculative, right? I told you guys how pivotal that 94 range was and how important it was that we broke out. Once we broke out, we started seeing things moving a little bit better. Now, CoinMarketCap has tools on it that I didn't have when I got started, okay? Like right here, it tells you how close we are to our altcoin season, right? And guess what it's showing in this line right here? It's showing our Bitcoin dominance, right? And our altcoins, right? So again, it's saying that we're about at a 26. Now, guys, we were at like a 14 before. We're kind of moving in the right direction, but we're a little early to be saying altcoin cycle. This could move very fast, though. I'll say that too. This could move very fast. It actually shot from 14 one day all the way up to like a 33 or 34 or something like that. So just understand that when Bitcoin dominance drops, pay attention to what this says with this altcoin season right here, right? Some more indicators, guys, that we might see an altcoin season. Let's look at this. And by the way, this website is called bitbo.io. I like this website. You guys can look on here. And again, these are the charts that I like to use. I like the stock to flow chart. Been around for years, right? I also like some of these other ones. This beam indicator here, it kind of lets me know as well our long zones, where these are like popular zones of longs, right? And then this is our short zone. These are when we're ripping up all-time highs and stuff like that. We're going to see a big sell wall, that kind of stuff. Look at this zone too, right? Look when we're in the red. And this is what I talked about. Look at this red. Look at this red, right? 2016, 2017. This red, this red. Look at this orange. You see how we were all over the place? Up and down, craziness. Didn't know what was going to happen. Look what we're doing, guys. Same thing, right? Look at this red right here. Same thing. We went red. We thought we were going to have a breakup. We broke all the way back down, and then we had a huge parabolic run up. And honestly, guys, I don't know if the cycle will actually be more similar to this, because look, this also looks like this, right? But I do know that also this chart is kind of showing us, hey, we're looking pretty good in terms of we might see an altcoin cycle. So other indicators that I like to use is our RSI. This stands for Relative Strength Index. It lets us know the buy pressure that we're seeing, and how much volume that we're seeing as well. Now you can see our RSI is actually starting to form a bullish pattern, right? Before we were forming a bearish pattern, right? We talk about this McDonald's M being, I'm not loving it, right? This is a bearish pattern. When you create this double top right here, and it could drop down, right? But if we could create this flagpole and start creating a flag shape pattern, this can be a catalyst that could push us up, right? So again, our RSI also starting to look very solid, right? You could see, oh, look, our fear greed index is listed here. That's what we look at every day. That's interesting, right? Look what our fear greed index is telling us. It's telling us that, we do sometimes find tops in this green zone right here. That's why, again, we were saying possible top, not probable, because again, stock to flow was saying not probable, but possible, right? You can also see that we also made it in the green a couple times this cycle, right? Where we were up here right before we needed to see a correction before ripping back up. Still in an uptrend, still looking solid. Starting to head into the green now again, and possibly looking like we might start running again. So also, fear greed index looking solid, right? Let's look at some of our moving average, right? I like the Pi cycle top indicator. These are indicators, guys. These are long-term Bitcoin indicators that you guys should be using to know kind of where we're at in the cycle and to just understand. But you should also know how to read them. I don't think that they're that hard to read, to be honest with you guys. You could see this is our Pi cycle indicator. So this blue line is our 111-day moving average. SMA, this is your moving average right here, right? 350-day SMA. This is your 350-day moving average, right? You can see this blue line. In my opinion, our blue line is very telling right now because look how it's cutting through our pattern. We have not broken down too far below this blue line to indicate that we are starting to see correction, right? It actually looks very similar to what? To 2016, 2017. You see how the blue line cuts right through? It's the same way the blue line is cutting right through here. And again, you see how we have this big parabolic run and then we have the blow off top. Have we had a blow off top in this cycle yet? I don't think that we have. This is 2023 right here. When I told you guys, Bitcoin is sitting at 15,000, right? Right here. And we're still cutting through this blue line. We have not broken down. So again, the cycle started right here in 2023, shot all the way up to 105, and then saw a little bit of a correction. But I'm saying this correction is not even as bad as people are saying. It's really not. I've been through some nasty corrections, guys. Corrections that have taken a long time, months, years, you know. Some other indicators that I like to use, probably this would be the last one for all these long-term indicators, but the this golden ratio multiplier. I like this too. Again, it's talking about a lot more moving averages. These are all your moving averages right here. So it tells you a ton of different moving averages that you guys could pay attention to, that you guys could see. Are we breaking down, or does it look like this is a zone of accumulation? Again, in my opinion, it doesn't look like a blow off top. It looks just like, again, like I've been saying for months, guys, possible zone of accumulation. And that's why people, again, have been telling you guys an altcoin cycle can happen any day. Altcoin cycle, altcoin cycle. Now you understand what they're saying. For those of you guys who have just been confused over what people are talking about with the altcoin cycle and stuff like that. But understand that, again, Bitcoin first, then blue chips, and then meme coins, guys. Then meme coins. This is why I tell you guys, do not be all in meme coins. Do not, right? It's not crazy to have some Bitcoin. It's not crazy to get some of those blue chips, right? Haven't I been also making videos on blue chips? I think I made a couple of videos on things like Ethereum, things like XRP and stuff like that. Now, whatever blue chips you like, that's up to you. I talk about ones that are popular, that again, I like, that are kind of staples in cryptocurrency that I feel like will do well. But again, whatever you decide to get into, that's really up to you. If you guys are looking for really popular coins that are that would be considered blue chips, I would be paying attention to the top 10 coins. A lot of blue chips in the top 10 right here. You guys can see Ethereum. This is considered a blue chip. XRP is a blue chip. Binance Smart Chain is a blue chip. These are things that have utility, guys. The Binance Smart Chain even has utility, believe it or not, right? You can use Binance Coin to buy coins on Binance, right? So if you're bullish on projects that are on the Binance Smart Chain, maybe it's not crazy to own some BNB. I think that's crazy because I don't like the Binance Smart Chain. But, you know, same thing with Solana. Solana is another blue chip. It's a needed coin. As a matter of fact, it's very needed, right? If we're going to have an altcoin cycle, people are going to need Solana, right? So if anything, my bag would be bigger in something like Solana than in a meme coin, because Solana has utility and people will need it if we have a meme coin cycle, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. Also, Ethereum, same thing. This is why I've been making a lot of videos about Ethereum, even though Ethereum is down and it's looking nasty. I like it because, again, I like these coins, one, when they look nasty, but two, I do think that Ethereum does have a future, especially if you're bullish on base. I don't think it's crazy to be also bullish on Ethereum, right? Because Ethereum is important for base. You kind of need it to get into the base. So again, in my opinion, it's important. And also, Ethereum has an entire blockchain. There's NFTs, and a lot of times, guys, the NFT cycle, well, in the past, the NFT cycle actually comes after altcoins. So these things all have an order. Just understand that, and that's why I say nothing's changed. It hasn't, guys. So Dogecoin is not a blue chip coin. It maybe is becoming a blue chip coin as far as meme coins are concerned, because sometimes this is also could be a confidence in the meme coin cycle, or in meme coins, when people start seeing things like Doge and Shib run and Pepe coin run, because they're kind of staples, because they've been so big, they're maybe slowly becoming like a blue chip in the community because people know it. It's like a brand, you know, it like has that recognition. It's like McDonald's. People think, oh, McDonald's, you know, like that. So Cardano, blue chip right here. Not a lot of stuff built on Cardano. Tron, I mean, this is another DeFi project. It's can be considered a blue chip, I guess. Some people are bullish on Tron. Personally, I'm not. It has not moved. I look for volume on these Bitcoin dips, and I've been saying that as well. Tron is not a coin that has had volume. Look, Sui, number 11, another DeFi project. Guys, why do you think that when I got started, I was bullish on ETH? Because I was bullish on DeFi. Look at the top 10 coins, guys. Ethereum, DeFi, BNB, DeFi. Solana is a DeFi project, right? This is Cardano, DeFi. Tron coin, DeFi. Sui coin, DeFi. AVAX, DeFi, right? These are all different blockchains that are all DeFi, right? Then you got Chainlink. I told you guys, Chainlink, very important. It kind of holds a lot of these blockchains together. For those of you guys who don't know what Chainlink is, super important. It's what you call an Oracle coin, right? Very important in the blockchain. People don't really understand it, so it kind of lacks volume, but a lot of people have been talking about $1,000 Chainlink for years now. I love Chainlink. It's probably one of my favorite coins because it's that necessary in the blockchain. But are people knowing about it? I don't think people really understand this space. They just understand meme coins because, again, we have a lot of irresponsible YouTubers that don't know how to read contracts, that all they do is not teach people anything about the space, and then people are going all in on one meme coin. And guys, that's not smart, guys. I like certain meme coins. I like a lot of this stuff, but again, guys, I'm not going all in on meme coins. It's just really not a good idea, guys. I promise you, it's not a good idea. Look at other really important projects, like right, HBAR, right? A lot of really good stuff that's on sale right now. Some people are bullish on Ton. This is another DeFi project, right? There's a lot of these coins that are actually in the top are DeFi projects, guys. Look, Polkadot, another DeFi project. I mentioned it, right? Litecoin as well. Interesting, right? These things are very important, very, very important. And as you go down, you start seeing, you know, things start getting a little bit. I mean, you got a lot of what is, ICP is it's an AI. You're looking at Aave, which is like lending. You're looking at, you know, and you got Trump coin. I don't know how I got in there, but now you're looking at the top 50. Things get a little bit different. Cosmos is another DeFi project that's highly speculative. There's a ton of DeFi projects, guys. Just understand that there's a ton of different things that are like Ethereum. But again, I do like Ethereum. I think Ethereum will reign supreme. We've seen things like Solana pumping and stuff like that in the past. Same thing with Binance, right? These two are kind of starting to become similar in my opinion, and I'm not really liking the fact that there's so many scams like Binance Smart Chain, guys. I was around when this launched. When I got on into cryptocurrency, BNB was actually around like under $1, right? There was only one place you could. Everybody was trading on Binance.com, right? Now, if you live in the US, you can't even have your coins on Binance.com. You got to be on Binance.us, right? But again, that's kind of, you know, where the price was at on this bad boy when I was getting started. And as you guys can see now, the price is over $600. I don't know how, but Binance has really not had any successful projects. Ethereum has had many successful projects. Even some of Ethereum's successful projects are right here in the top 10, like Dogecoin is built on Ethereum, right? Pepe Coin, Shiba Inu is built on Ethereum, right? So in my opinion, Ethereum is solid. It has coins that are in the billions of market cap. Solana also has coins that are in the billions of market cap. Solana also has coins that have been listed on large exchanges. You know, that could be a good thing for Solana. It kind of increases the confidence in this coin, right? So those are kind of the things that I pay attention to when it comes to, again, those blue chip projects. And in my opinion, I've been telling you guys, you know, these guys are going to be accumulating Bitcoin first, blue chip second, and then after that, guys, we will have what is called the altcoin season. It is quick, fast, and in a hurry. It is a state of absolute pandemonium and greed. We will see this market cap absolutely explode. We'll see Bitcoin explode. And it will be a lot of euphoria. People will be buying in, thinking that this will last forever, and it won't last forever, guys. The real time to be stacking chips, like I've been saying for months now, right? Like for months now, bro, has been the fact that we are in a very golden zone. The fact that I've been telling you guys, these opportunities do not come often. They come. They do come. Believe that there will be more corrections in the future. Understand that this is not a straight line. It's not a rocket ship. It goes up and it goes down. It's a roller coaster. And so when it's up, you should be also practicing good habits, which would be like locking in your profit, at least lock in your initial investment, right? You should at least want to be playing with some house money if you can. God forbid you take out a little bit and pay yourself and then not have to be so emotional about it. But I think that the number one problem with people in trading is that they over leverage into coins. They're spending too much money, right? They're gambling too much. They can't really afford to take a hit, but here they are gambling their rent. And again, should you be gambling your rent in a zone like this where we could be, choppy like this? No, because you're going to sell for a loss and our market's going to do this. And you're going to feel even worse. If you think you feel bad, like selling when it's down here because you think you did something good for yourself, wait till you see when Bitcoin starts ripping up. Right? I can't say that it will for sure because, of course, I can't make those type of claims. But if you look at Bitcoin, you could see how Bitcoin has performed over time. And this chart looks very scary to people, right? When you look at this all-time chart, it looks scary. It looks so volatile. Oh, wow. It's so volatile. It's so scary. Look at these big, huge drops. If you click on logarithmic, it doesn't look that scary, right? It's not that scary. As a matter of fact, it's kind of like just a little hiccup. We have not seen a blow off top. We have not seen a top to our cycle. And even we have some people that have been in cryptocurrency for a long time that have already said that, a probable top. There's nothing to say, in my opinion, that there has been a probable top. This is not what a top has looked like in the past. And now, not every time is going to look the same. Just because things have been one way in the past doesn't mean that it's going to be that way in the future. Past results don't indicate future results. I don't know, whatever they say about that, but it's not always going to be the same. But I would say, again, this is looking a lot like this. And when it comes to charts, guys, we look for patterns as traders. That's why we have things like the stock to flow chart. That's why we have things like the RSI. That's why we have indicators, because we're looking for different patterns, guys. And as a matter of fact, if you're not familiar with these patterns, one, I have a Patreon. You should probably check it out because, again, I show you guys how to read the chart. Very important to know how to read the chart. But as you guys can see, look, Bitcoin actually forming a really nice bull flag. This is a very bullish case scenario. If we break out of this, this could be good. Now, again, if we break out of this, Bitcoin is going to lay its MAC down. It's going to possibly increase in dominance even more. Why is that? Because people are feeling the FOMO. They're feeling it. They're like, dang, am I going to miss Bitcoin at a cheaper price? Is Bitcoin going to come back to this cheap price? Guys, there's a good chance Bitcoin will come back to all these prices, okay? And even if Bitcoin decides it wants to shoot all the way up to 200,000, I think that there's a good chance that we'll see a $97,000 Bitcoin again, okay? Just want to make that clear, just so that you kind of understand what a correction feels like and what it looks like. I told you guys that this period would be very brutal, right? And that's kind of how it's been. You're just kind of earning your stripes in crypto if you're new to this stuff. So, but I just really did want to touch on how our cycle works and just like what blue chips are and kind of why we have these indicators, what the dominance means. These are all important indicators, guys. This, and this are all indicators. And again, it's just indicators, guys. It just talks about, we use indicators just so that we can make better guesses. Right? It's the difference between making a blind guess and making an educated guess. At the end of the day, this is all a gamble, right? We don't know what's going to happen with cryptocurrency. This entire space, like I've been telling you guys, is smaller than Apple's stock. That is very small, guys. This is like super tiny. These guys, some of these whales that are in stock market, they are these big institutions, these hedge funds that people love so much being in our market. Guess what, guys? They are used to manipulating a much bigger market than this. This is nothing, right? There are people in this world that can manipulate our entire market by themselves. So just understand that, you guys that are over leveraging into cryptocurrency, that's not a good idea, right? We see massive corrections in this space all the time. And honestly, if you cannot withstand a 60 to 80% correction, then this might not be a good space for you to be in, right? If you make emotional decisions, a good trader is not an emotional trader, guys. It's the opposite. The things that we think when we get into this market, you have to unlearn. Your natural thought process is not that of a trader. People do not get into the market and think like a trader. People get into the market and they think like a retail investor. And how does a retail investor think? He thinks Joe Blow over here just made a bunch of money and now I'm going to make a bunch of money off of Dogecoin. Let me put my money into Dogecoin. Guys, please learn the space. Please learn the cycle. Please learn it, because it's going to make you less emotional. That's why I'm not tripping and I'm telling you guys, I'm buying it even if it goes lower. Why is that? Because I'm looking at the long term. I always look at these charts, guys, and usually I'm looking first at the macro. I look first as big as possible. Like sometimes I will look at this all-time chart. It's telling a much different story than this one-day chart. Some of you guys sit on the 15-minute chart and you're not swing trading. You're not scalping. You have no business being on a 15-minute chart. That's not what that chart is for. It's not foretelling you much of what is going to happen into the future, because you only have about 15 minutes worth of data on that chart. It's really just telling you what has happened. It looks very volatile. The smaller down I go on this Bitcoin chart, it's going to look more and more volatile, right? If I go down to this 1 minute chart, look, it's going crazy, right? I don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to break down off of this 1 minute chart? Possibly. But at the same time, if you look at our 1 hour chart, you can see that we actually might be seeing a breakout soon. So yeah, maybe we might break down a little bit on the 1 minute chart, but that doesn't mean that the chart is going to necessarily go down. That's why I've been telling you guys about the weekly chart and how solid we look on the weekly chart, and how, again, when I pull up our Keltner channel, this is an indicator that I like to use. You can use whatever indicators you guys want. There are like thousands of indicators. Look how many indicators there are, by the way, guys. Find indicators that work for you, that you understand. I try to use the ones that are easiest. I know how to read a lot of these indicators, but really I just use ones that are easiest. For me, I don't need these indicators. I don't need to pull up the Keltner channels to know what is going on. And that's because also I've pulled up this dang Keltner channel so many times that I already know our zones of accumulation. I know our zones, our support and our resistance, because again, once you've been in the market long enough, you guys will also start seeing the patterns, knowing kind of, okay, if we drop down here, okay, we've dropped down here in the past and we know that there's a lot of longs, right? So once we drop down to certain levels, guys, you have to understand, right? The way longs and shorts work, let's say that somebody places a long position, right? Well, that order needs to get filled, right? Same thing with the short position, that somebody needs to buy the short, somebody needs to buy the long position, right? So those orders need to get filled. Sometimes those orders don't get filled. When those orders don't get filled, what does that mean? That means that you are losing in that trade. That means that whatever direction you picked it to go, whether you picked a call option, they call it a call option, is a long, right? That means you think that the chart will go up. If you put a put option, that is what you call a short option. That means you're betting that the chart is going to go down. Now, I tell you guys that those people that are betting on that up and down movement, those guys usually do not make the most money. That is really the people that, again, should be sitting on this 30-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, the 1 minute chart. Those are the guys, because again, they're in and out of these trades very fast. They may be trading with leverage and things like that. Again, that stuff gets you wrecked. And that's what I've been telling you guys has been happening right here. These whales are not your friend. They're manipulating the price. They're liquidating longs. They're liquidating shorts. This is billions of dollars right here that you guys are looking at of liquidations. You know, the past month has really been like a smart trader, guys, would have not been trading at all in March. A smart trader would not be trading through something like this. I would not be looking for positions in something like this, guys. I would not, right? Now, I mean, I would be looking for maybe a long position if we were to get closer to like this 87, if I feel like we can really break out. Because again, there's just more of a chance that we do see a breakout of this, but it's always a gamble when you're betting those longs and shorts. In my opinion, if you're bullish on the space, if you really think that crypto has a future, and this is what I've been saying, these are times of actually accumulations in this space, and you should be looking at projects that you like. Also, I don't think that it's a good idea. And again, none of this is financial advice, guys, none of it. So do not take this as financial advice. Do whatever you want to do. Okay. But I would be looking at different things, right? Not just one coin. If I thought that, you know, Ethereum was going to do it, or this, I would be a little bit in different stuff, because it only takes one coin to change your entire life in cryptocurrency, and you don't know what that one coin will be. So if you're all into one coin, then again, you're at the whim of the market also. And two, you're also you're just gambling in these altcoins, or in these meme coins. So guys, again, even though you guys see a lot of YouTubers that talk about this meme coin, that meme coin, and everybody wants to be on the next Shiba Inu, just understand that there's 2 million cryptocurrencies today, guys. 2 million. And the odds of you picking the right crypto that will do the next 1 million X or whatever, I mean, I won't say it's insane, because you guys watch me, and I've done it plenty of times, where we find these coins that have gone up an insane amount, right? We've done it with Pepe coin, we did it with even in the last bull cycle, we've done it, and I show you guys how I do that too. But again, it's nothing changed, right? I tell you guys, I look for the volume, I look for the demand, I look for what people are buying, I look for the things that Binance is looking for, that Coinbase. We're all looking for the volume. We're all looking for the volume. This is why I'm able to talk about coins before they list on these big exchanges. How many coins have I talked about before they listed on Coinbase, before that they've listed on Binance and all this stuff? We were talking about Toshi Coin before it listed on any of these things, guys, because it had a good market cap to holder ratio. And if you guys don't understand how a market cap works, that's another video for a different time. I don't want to cram too much into this video, but I just want you guys to understand where we're at in the cycle, and just kind of what people mean when they talk about the altcoin season, when they talk about Bitcoin dominance, when they talk about just, you know, why things are moving in the way that they're moving. This is why, again, Ethereum is #1 right now, and these blue chips are running right now. Now, I don't know what Kato is. I don't know what that is, but you know, I know what Ethereum is, I know what Litecoin is, I know what Bitcoin is, and a lot of people know what that is. And that's why, again, it's a blue chip, as well as the fact that it has utility. So do not forget that if this space does grow one day, right, to not just be the size of Apple, but maybe to be the size of the entire stock market, or God forbid, even more, maybe something closer to the Forex market, foreign money exchange market, which is about $4.2 quadrillion, that maybe owning some of these projects that have utility is actually not the craziest thing to have more money in than a meme coin, guys. I just want you to understand that. I love meme coins. This channel kind of, I started off as really cryptocurrency in general, but because my channel was really the original meme coin channel, it just kind of took life as a meme coin channel. But I just want you guys to understand how I think as an investor, and how the market thinks as an investor, because this is how smart money moves. And again, once you're in the market for long enough, you'll understand how the cycle works. It just takes time in the market to understand it, guys. It really does. But I've been telling you guys, Bitcoin first, then altcoins, and then Bitcoin first, then blue chips, and then altcoins. That's what I'm paying attention to. That's why, again, once Bitcoin started dumping, right, there was a time where we were talking about straight altcoin, right? I was talking about straight Solana, this and these coins, and then Bitcoin started correcting, and I started talking about what? XRP, Ethereum, these other coins, because why? This is the first thing that these guys are going to be looking for. I've been saying that. This is the first thing that they're going to be looking for, because they're going to see it's on sale and they're going to be like, you know what? This stuff has utility. I see the point of it. I want to invest in it. It seems like a safer bet. People look for safer bets, right? And some of you guys, you don't even know what a safe bet looks like because you don't understand the market cap, right? The smaller the market cap, the more volatile it's going to be. Volatility means the chart is going to go up and down, right? So it's a blessing and a curse, right? You can make money really fast, like these guys in Cato, right? They're up 47% today. Look at the market cap on the coin. It's at 300 million. This is a small market cap, actually. Believe it or not, 300 million is a very small market cap, right? We talk about smaller market cap coins than this, right? Like Toshi and things like that. Toshi is sitting around 150 million. Toshi coin can also do this in a day because, again, it's a small volatile coin. And in my opinion, if you have made good gains in the market, if you have a big bag, I do see a point of having higher risk plays in your portfolio. Things like this that can, again, do these types of gains. But should you be all in to high risk plays like this? No, you shouldn't. It's, again, like being all in on a penny stock. And what is a penny stock? A penny stock is just like a startup company. It's a company that people don't really know about yet. These companies launch all the time and they go to crap all the time. 98% of these of companies will fail. And that's in any industry, guys. 98% of Shopify, if you go do this or that, 98% of things will fail, guys. People are looking for the outliers. People are looking for the winners, right? That's why, again, when Bitcoin goes, it will go first because Bitcoin will reign supreme always, guys. I do not think Bitcoin will be flipped anytime soon by any of these coins. They are far behind in market cap right now. It would be insane, especially when you have countries that are now accumulating Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is being manipulated so much and people are really thinking, oh, there's no value in Bitcoin. That's insanity. That's crazy. It's literally, guys, bro, you don't understand the risk that some of us had to take in the space to pave the way. Like me, I had to take risk being on here talking about this stuff, guys. You don't understand. It was not widely accepted. It was a lot of pushback from even our government that I had to take a risk in this space and believe in this space, guys. I have conviction in this stuff. That's why, again, I'm Crypto J. Now, you have a lot of influencers. They don't understand anything. And this is why I talk about these guys, because honestly, they are a big problem. They're a big problem in our space that they do not talk about how our market cycle works. They do not even know how a market cycle works. In my opinion, guys, pay attention to that. Pay attention to these guys that are talking about some of these projects, because some of these projects, the distribution is crazy. The top 100 wallets are holding 90% of the supply, and there's 360,000 holders. Why are you talking about this? Why would you even mention this to anybody? To anybody? Like, if you want to invest in it, fine. But why would you mention it to everybody else? Because people don't know how to navigate this space. They don't know how to look and determine, you know, hey, this is actually not a fair deal. Do you think it's fair if one person owns 90% of the shares? If they decide to sell at any time, what do you think is going to happen to the price, guys? Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. Do you think you have any manipulation of the price? Do you think that you can move the price if you're part of the 2%? No, you can't. You could do about 2% of damage. They could do about 98% of damage. So again, just understand that. I'm going to make more videos. Again, I feel like I blew through this, even though this video is close to an hour long. It's probably like the longest video I made in a long time, but I really want to drive this home to you guys so that you really understand, and I hope that you got anything out of this. If you did get something out of this, guys, please like this video. Please comment on this video. Let me know that you made it to the end. I'll be actually very surprised and also very proud of you guys who have actually made it to the end, because it shows that you don't have a microwave mentality about this stuff. I genuinely want to teach you guys this stuff. I genuinely want you to understand the market is highly volatile. We don't know which way it's going to move. Anybody that tells you definitively that they know where this market is going, that they know where the bottom is, and that they know where the top is, run away as fast as you can. This person is a liar. Nobody can predict this market, guys. All we do is speculate. It's always speculative, right? Some people say, Crypto J, stop speculating. No, I'm not going to stop speculating. I'm not going to tell you that I know what Bitcoin's going to do. I'm not going to tell you that I know what the top's going to be. I'm going to tell you my prediction. And at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you that I'm not a fortune teller, because that's honest, right? I'm going to be honest. So again, guys, just understand that. I don't want you guys to get wrecked. If I wanted you guys to get wrecked, I would have just launched a meme coin years ago. You think there could have been a Crypto J coin? You think people wouldn't have backed it? They would have. They would have put their money in it. And if I was a crooked guy, like a lot of these influencers that launch meme coins that have horrible distribution, that take advantage of people, I could have done that already a long time ago, guys. You'll never see that happen. If anything, I would be creating tools to educate people, because that's what this space needs. This space needs education. And that's why, again, I dedicated so much of my channel, even though I talk about sometimes things that are not that appealing, right? Maybe I'll miss out on the trend of this coin or that coin because I don't like the distribution, even though it's getting a ton of search volume and other people are talking about it, because I already know what's going to happen in the project. But I don't want to also go against those people and say, hey, this project looks crazy, because then guess what? I'm going to have a whole bunch of people that don't know how to read a contract that are going to be mad at me. They're going to be yelling at me. They're going to be trying to talk bad about me, when all I'm trying to do is help these people. And I've done that before, bro. I've talked about things and tried to help people out before the big dump that these dudes do on these guys, and then they come crying back to me, oh dude, you tried to, I'm sorry, and it's like, bro, like, I'm already gonna block you off my channel because you come up in my channel with some crazy energy, and it's not necessary. I'm not trying to screw you over. I want to see you guys win. That's why, again, I'm telling you that I talk about coins right now lately that on this dip that have been on exchanges. Big exchanges have already picked these coins up. But, you know, once these altcoins start running, I'm looking to pick up coins before these guys. That's how, again, we were able to beat Binance. We're able to beat Coinbase. I'm able to beat all these guys all the time, because guess what? I know what they look for. We have a similar eye, because CZ's been in this industry a very long time. He knows exactly what to look for. Ben, same thing. Or Brian Armstrong, same thing. He's been in this space a really long time. He knows what to look for. And once you guys have been in this market for a long time, you're going to know what to look for. Really, if you stay tapped into this channel for even one cycle, you'll probably be better than, honestly, 99% of people in cryptocurrency. If you could learn how to read a smart contract, you're better than most of these influencers. And I'm not talking trash, guys. That is true. That's a reality, because you know what? People shouldn't be going so crazy when Zach XBT exposes something. You should already know. It's not hard to read a contract. If anything, guys, there's more tools now with AI that help you guys read these smart contracts than were available to me. I had to manually do this, looking on Etherscan, looking on, you know, Binance Scan, and all these, you know, different things to be able to look at these contracts. You guys have way more tools now to be able to use. And so, again, take the time, learn the space. It takes time. Understand that this is not get rich quick. Just like Shopify, just like any other industry that you get into, there's going to be a learning curve, and there's going to be some uncomfortable times. I know, again, some of you guys came in during the height of the bull cycle, and maybe this is the first thing that you ever put your money into that actually has turned out in making you money, at least for a short period of time, and you weren't ready for a correction. But just understand, guys, that these corrections are normal and they're necessary. When we don't see a correction, it's what you call a bubble. It's a bad thing. It's an indicator that we're overbought, and that it could happen at any moment. And that's what I was telling you guys when Bitcoin went from 100,000 to 105,000, is that this is looking like a bubble right now. It's going to pop, and it did. So just understand that, guys. But right now, again, where we're at with our chart, where we're at with our long-term indicators, we can see some consolidation. Look at last time. Right? We went orange, yellow, orange, and this is going to liquidate a lot of people. A lot of people will not have the patience if this is something that decides it wants to play out to be a part of. But also we can have a really quick turnaround too. Like, look at this. We had a really quick turnaround here, right? And then we were right back on to all-time highs. Didn't even take that long. Big run up, right? It could be something similar, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the future. Again, I just look at these long-term indicators, and I just do the best that I can to give you guys my predictions. That's why, again, a lot of you guys always look and you're like, man, you're spot on, because a lot of times these indicators work. Sometimes they don't, though. And that's a reality. Not every single chart on here will reign true. But you know what? If some of them are good enough, then maybe they might help you out. I don't know. You got to figure out what works for you guys. Find indicators that work for you. We're going to start breaking down more indicators on the channel. That way you kind of understand how some of these indicators work. And the reason why I'm making these types of video, guys, is because I do think that there will be an altcoin cycle. And I do think that there will be people that have a need for this knowledge. So just understand that your boy Crypto J is still bullish on this space. And I will always be bullish on this space. I'm Crypto J. And yeah, to me, this market cap is crazy small. Just understand this market cap, the entire cryptocurrency market is this. It's smaller than Apple. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to cause a lot of fear. You could see just last month we were at a 17, and right now we're at a 53. But last month we were at a 17. 17. So just understand that is how volatile this is. Okay. Do not be over leveraged in this space in any coins. I'm telling you that, not as your financial advisor. I'm telling that as your friend, as somebody who's made mistakes in the space before. And because I genuinely, guys, I promise you, I genuinely want to see you guys win. Again, if I wanted to scam, if I wanted to do those dirty, crooked tricks, then I could have done them a long time ago, guys. I could have done them a long time ago. And some of your favorite influencers that are flexing and all this stuff have scammed you right out of your money, man. And I see it and I keep my mouth shut about it. But I tell you guys, be careful. Be careful out there and learn how to do this yourself. Do not rely on YouTubers to tell you what to buy, guys. You will learn so much more. You'll feel a lot more confident. And honestly, you'll realize, honestly, too, how bad a lot of these YouTubers are at reading these contracts is really embarrassing, honestly. But anyway, guys, this video is almost an hour long. That was not the plan. I hope you guys got something out of this. Again, if you did, hit the like button. If you're not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're going to talk a lot more about this, guys. We're going to really start breaking it down for all you guys that are brand new to cryptocurrency. Because, again, I want you guys to just be a lot better, from the gate than a lot of these other people. So if you got anything out of this video, again, let me know. It all helps me out, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.